So out of all these books, you can see that I'm trying to branch out a little more. Hey fellow fiction fanatics, welcome to my channel. I'm Chase and today we're going to talk about the books I read in March. So I actually read about 6 books in March, and I'm going to start with the books that I actually own, and then I'll jump into the books that I got from the library. I actually read 2 books from the Chronicles of Narnia. I'm actually rereading this series this year. So I have this wonderful bind-up that has all 7 books. It's huge and I love it. So I actually read The Voyage of the Dawn Treader and The Silver Chair this month. So The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, it features Edmund and Lucy and their cousin Eustace, and they're all transported into Narnia. And I really liked that in The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, you see more of Narnia, because in the rest of the books you mainly are focused in like a certain part of Narnia. And this one, you're traveling through the sea. They're sailing across the sea. And so you stop at different islands and you kind of get to expand the horizon of Narnia. It's just a fun adventure, and I really enjoyed it. So I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read The Silver Chair, which is the 6th book in the Chronicles of Narnia. And that one it's a little different because you're no longer with the Pevensey children. It's Eustace and then his classmate Jill, who just kind of happens to get transported with him to Narnia. And in the Silver Chair, they're told by Aslan that they need to do certain tasks and that they need to find this lost prince. And they kind of blunder their way through doing so. They don't really understand Narnia that well. They're kind of mess up things along the way. But it's ultimately a good story. But I had to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. So not a full 5, but still really good. So overall, I really enjoyed these 2 books, and I can't wait to finish it. And then the next book I read was I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lore. This is the first book in the Lorien Legacies. So this book is a little hard to explain. I'll have to give you more background information before I can really start talking about this book. So what's happened prior to this book? So there's 2 planets, Lorien and Mogador, I believe. And the Mogadorians have invaded Lorien and just annihilated everyone on that planet, except for 9 children that were able to get away. These 9 children are guards, and that essentially means that they'll eventually have powers when they get older. And their Sapans or guardians who will train them were able to go with them. So these children were taken away in an emergency spaceship, and they were each placed a charm, and this charm, basically instead of names, they were given numbers, and they can only be killed in that order. So if any Mogadorian comes after them, if any harm that they try to inflict on them instead will affect them. So say like they tried to stab them with the sword and they were the next number to die. Instead, the sword would go through the Mogadorian. In this book, numbers 1, 2, and 3 have all been killed, and now we're focusing on 4. And 4, he's going to go by the name of John Smith because he has to move again, and he's going to Paradise, Ohio. He starts really enjoying his life there, and his powers start coming. He has to hide this from his new friends, and really the start of a great adventure. There's 12 books in the series if you count the novellas. I have all of them. This is actually a reread for me because my sister is getting into this series as well, and I want to read it along with her. So that's something we're doing. I really enjoyed this. It was really funny, really fun. I love this reread, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The last book I have, I'm not fully done with it yet. I have 5 chapters left, but I'm really enjoying it, and that is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. Angie Thomas also wrote The Hate You Give, which I loved, and I'm really loving this one as well. I think The Hate You Give probably has a little more profound impact, at least on me, but I'm enjoying On the Come Up. I only have 5 more chapters, and I'm really excited to finish it. I'm definitely finishing it today, so that's why I'm putting it on my March wrap-up. So this book is about Bree, and she is trying to become an up-and-coming rapper. she really feels like this is how she can help her family. It's something she's really good at, always wanted to pursue, but she's never really pushed herself or come out there. She's just kind of shown family and friends what she can do, but she hasn't made it big. This is her story about making it big, really, but at what cost. So she makes a rap and does a song, records it, and then posts it online, and it goes viral for the wrong reasons. And it's just kind of her having to deal with this, and it also deals with racial profiling, and it's really, really good. I would definitely recommend it. Right now I'm thinking I'm going to give it 4.5 stars, but of course it could be 5 stars. I have 5 more chapters, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and I can't wait to read anything else to Angie Thomas. These next 2 books are also me trying to branch out. So the first book I read was Circe by Madeline Miller. Circe is about, well, Circe. She's a Greek mythology sorceress. The only thing I knew about her was from the Odyssey, which I read in high school, and I knew that she turned Odysseus' men into pigs, and that was like it. So Circe's really just essentially telling her whole story. I liked that it had a lot of Greek mythology woven in. It's kind of has a bunch of different myths that you may have heard in the past, or at least that I had heard. I really enjoyed that they were kind of interweaved together. So I went, oh, I know that one. Oh, I know that one. And sometimes it would take a little while before I realized, oh, it's this myth. So I did enjoy that part, and I enjoyed the story overall. But for some reason, it was like really hard to get through. I felt like I was just trudging along the whole time, even though I was enjoying the story, which is weird. And there were just a few things that I didn't really like. So overall, I gave Circe 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then the last book I read was What to Say Next, which is a YA contemporary, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. I thought, okay, it's just going to be a cute YA contemporary cheesy thing. But it wasn't. It was just really sweet, really heartfelt. It went deeper than I thought it would, and I really enjoyed it. What to Say Next is about Kit and David. It goes back and forth between their perspectives, and Kit is just like this normal girl who in high school. She's not super popular, but she's popular enough. And David, who's just kind of an outcast, and he's super logical to a fault, that he doesn't really understand social cues or really social interaction and stuff, so he just kind of, he's a loner. He just stays out of everyone's way, and no one really bothers him. He doesn't really bother them. And these two form an unlikely friendship which blossoms into a romance, and it's just so sweet, and I loved it so much. And I really think if you haven't read it, you totally should. And I gave that one 5 out of 5 stars. Alright, so that's all the books I read in March. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the love. I'll see you next time. Bye!